All right. Testies. Testies 1, 2.
Episode 24, dude. That's 12 twice.
Yeah. And not to mention, it's our last episode ever. Sorry, guys. You know, we gave it a whirl. And
honestly, we can't even stand each other. So,
yeah,
I don't know if that
sick
comes
of you, Carlos.
through in the podcast, but
all that laughing I just did was fake, Carlos.
You know.
Hey, everybody. This is Carlos and Sandy Lee, and you're listening to the Off Your Flosser podcast. We're here to rock your world.
Thanks for listening, everybody. And go floss yourselves.
Thanks, everybody. Now go floss yourself.
Hey, I went to this comedy club last night just to check out my buddy Conrad, who is the patient in that movie, Be Patient, on my What the Floss channel on YouTube.
Yeah.
So if you want to check it out, go check it out. He, we're standing outside. He's got a Rubik's Cube in his pocket.
Does he?
And I'm like, dude, what's with the Rubik's Cube? He goes, you'll see. Speaking of which, I didn't get it. I know. Damn it.
I'm telling you, I haven't messed with it in a while because I looked at it and I had all but one square on the white side. All but one. And then the next time I looked at it, it was all screwed up. So I think my dogs were trying to do it.
I'm not buying that.
No, but seriously, we'll talk about supernatural, but seriously, either I just forgot that I messed with it or some ghost was, maybe Rubik's ghost was hanging out at my house and you'll never get it. You're never going to get this. You layman person.
So Conrad does he goes, I have new hobbies because I have depression, so I'm trying to get out of new hobbies. He goes, February I did the Rubik's Cube, and he pulls it out of his pocket, and it's just one layer off, and he flicks it with his finger, and he goes, easy, and he puts it back in his pocket, right? Then he has a ukulele, right? He goes, I don't know the name of the song. He goes, I'm not good enough to write my own songs, but I just learned popular songs. You know that song that goes... But he goes, who really cares? And he puts it up. Funny stuff. The feature act goes up and he goes, I was involved in a tongue popping contest. And most people pop their tongues like this. He goes, right?
Yeah.
Then he goes, I do mine like this. And I'm sitting there going, that is about the dumbest thing I've ever seen. But it was hilarious because he's doing his mouth with the beat.
He must have practiced.
Oh, my God. He goes, this is our 6th show, and I've done that bit about 13 times. Somebody goes, do it again.
God. Oh, God.
I don't know. I don't think I can. And then he goes, and he does the whole thing all over again. For like a minute, and you're just like, okay, this isn't funny anymore. Now it's just funny because it's not funny.
Right.
Oh.
I love it when things are funny because they're not funny. Makes you wonder how they come up with this stuff.
I can tell you how. It's just comedians are
random
crazy.
Crap.
Yeah, comics are crazy. So how was your weekend?
I worked. I worked at a hospital, had a 10-year celebration, so we got to provide oral cancer screenings and dental screenings for adults and kids. Yeah. It was actually pretty fun. So I go to they have a whole bunch of different things going on, and they go to, or they have a balloon clown that does balloon animals.
I got a buddy of mine who does that.
Oh, really?
And he's really good, which is kind of creepy. He's a bigger dude, right? I'm one to talk. But he can put his hands behind his back, and he'll pull out a unicorn. I mean, just amazing. He's really good at it. Yeah.
Behind his back, huh? No look pass. Nice.
I think it's called balloon twisting, which is literally what they do.
Right.
But he's really good at it. Like he'll make things that you put on your head, and yeah.
Yeah, this guy was he was okay.
He wasn't a real good balloon twister.
I mean, he did decent stuff, but like we had an employee wellness fair last year and we hired a balloon guy and he was amazing. Like he made Spider-Man and unicorns and he made me a tooth fairy and a toothbrush and all this cool stuff. So this one over the weekend, I asked for a unicorn and I showed him my lighthearted RDH. We call her Debbie the unicorn holding a wine glass.
Okay.
And I showed it to him and I go, hey, could you make this? And bonus points if you make a wine glass too. And he just laughed right in my face. And I was like, okay, I guess no wine glass. That's fine. Okay. So then he does this unicorn and I go, can you make the hair, the mane, like pink and teal? And he's like, oh, yeah. Well, at about the same time, somebody had showed up for me to do a screening. So I was like, okay, I'll be right back for it. And I go out, I, do screening, come back, and it's pink and blue. No wine glass.
He's a guy. Blue's close enough to
sad.
teal.
Says you. I'm doing a Wear Teal for May 8th. It's the World Cancer Day, or Ovarian Cancer Day, and it's my 5-year cancerversary.
Wow, son.
May 8th.
That's fantastic.
Yes. Yeah. So
congrats.
I put an event. Thanks. I put an event on Facebook. So all you got to do is, like, you can join the event, but all you got to do is wear teal on May 8th.
I think I can work that out.
In honor of... Yeah, I think I invited you, but you're so cool and stuff. You haven't seen it yet, I'm sure.
That's not true at all. You want to hear the story of the worst balloon twister I've ever met in my life?
Okay.
I can't remember the name of the restaurant, right? I was with my wife and son and my daughter, and they were little kids. He was maybe 8 or 10, okay? He's 22 now, okay? So we're sitting there, and the kid comes up, and I'm tired, and I'm hungry, and I don't want to listen to any BS about balloons.
Right.
I just want to order a steak and some bread with butter and just keep it moving, right? It wasn't Outback, but it was something Outbacky, right?
Yeah.
So the kid comes up. He's like, would you like to get a balloon? And I go, yeah, all right, what do you want, boy? And the guy goes, you can have anything you want. So my son goes, how about a bicycle? Right? Not with the spokes and everything, but just something that kind of looks like a bike,
yeah,
right?
I
don't know, whatever his version of a bicycle is, right? And the guy goes, how about a sword or a parrot? Right? He's like, swords and parrots are cool, but I'd still like a bicycle, right? The guy goes, I could do a sword or a parrot. And I'm like, well, why did you just say
anything you want, as long as it's a parrot and a sword?
All you can do is a sword and a parrot. If that's all you have is a sword and a parrot, why'd you say anything? So I'm already Lord. I'm annoyed, but this kid's making me laugh because he's getting nervous, right?
It's so bad.
So he has like a little, like an apron with just 1,000 balloons in it, right? And he has like this little pump, like a little bicycle pump, right?
Right.
So he puts a balloon on the end of the pump and he tries to pump it up and it shoots off. It shoots off, right? And now I'm smiling because I'm like, oh, this is turning into a shit show. This is gonna be fantastic. This is better than the bread and the butter they were gonna bring, So the kid and my daughter's like, Dad, stop laughing at the guy, right? And I'm like, don't be mad at me. This guy sucks, He came to our table. I didn't find him and ask him to come over.
A clown too.
And show me your sucky ass balloon techniques, So he finally, and I think he shoots another one off, right? I start losing it, and then my wife is like, "You're being mean, right?" And I'm like, "I can't help it. This is some funny stuff, right?" He finally blows one up, right? And he's twisting it, and it pops, pow! And then he does it, and he finally gets a parrot out, right? He finally gets a parrot out, but the parrot doesn't have feet. It has like a loop. So then he takes his T-shirt and he pulls it through the loop of the feet of the parrot. So it looks like it's sitting on his shoulder.
Right, yeah.
And then he just stands there like super, super proud of it. And I start howling. You know what I mean? And the kid, you can see him turning red. You know what I mean? And then he goes, And my wife was like, "I'm sorry," and I'm sorry, and I'm laying on the table. I can't stop laughing, and I don't know if it's just the low blood sugar or this kid's stupid face. I don't know what it is, or just his horrible attempts at balloon bending or twisting, whatever it is.
Oh man!
So he makes the parrot for my son and the sword for my daughter, and I go, dude, I'm sorry, man. I just had a long day. Here's $5. Take some balloon twisting classes. I don't know what to tell you, but it was horrible, man, but hilarious at the same time.
Oh my gosh! It reminds me the part where the balloon flipped right off of the thing.
It shot off, and I don't even know where it went.
There's a guy I found him on Facebook. His name's Brandon something. I don't know. He's sitting there trying to blow up one of those long ass balloons. And he's like, "Oh, my cheeks hurt so bad. I can't blow it up. What is it?" And he's like, he goes on YouTube. So you see his face, and he's like focused on the YouTube video right in front of him.
Blow a lung out doing one of those things if you don't know what you're doing.
So he's like trying to learn how to blow these things up. And in the end, he ended up getting like one little breath in a whole big balloon. And then he gave up. But it's horrible. Hilarious watching. He's like, "Oh, my cheeks, they burn."
I wouldn't even bother. I'd have to get a little pump thing.
Oh, yeah. This guy had a machine that did air. The guy that actually made my unicorn. Hey, Carlos.
What's up?
It's episode 24.
24.
How you doing?
How you doing? Yeah.
How you doing?
Episode 24, dude. That's 12 twice.
Yeah. And not to mention, it's our last episode ever. Sorry, guys. We gave it a whirl. And
honestly, we can't even stand each other. So,
yeah,
I'm
kind of
sick
sick of you, Carlos.
Comes through in the podcast, but
all that laughing I just did was fake, Carlos. If you haven't guessed yet, it's April Fool's Day.
Everybody.
April 1st.
Relax, everybody.
Carlos and I are stuck with each other forever.
Dun, 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 dun.
That does kind of lead into look up some pranks gone wrong, because some stuff has gone down.
There's got to be horrible pranks. That's why I don't like pranks, because it's only funny to everybody else, not the person being pranked. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, sometimes. So, like, for example, I think I did this last year too, but I posted in my lighthearted group that Facebook is shutting us down and blah, blah, blah. And I got a whole bunch of people,
Today?
They were like, oh yeah. They're like, "Are you kidding me?" And then everybody, like a whole bunch of people were like, "Oh, you got me.
Oh, you suck.
But I posted like a picture, but in the very...
Hello? Still there?
Yeah. What's up?
Oh my God. I don't know what's going on. This wild pollen, man. Mother Nature's dandruff is killing me.
Killing me, Smalls.
I went out and mowed the lawn on Saturday. I was feeling invigorated by that trip I just took.
Yeah.
So the backyard looks amazing. But the pollen is like 10 million to 1. I don't know what the pollen, what you measured in, but I can scoop it up outside. It's like yellow dirt everywhere.
Yuck.
It's all it is. It's just tree seed, right? Isn't that the
Yeah,
genetic
they're
material?
They're trying to do it with other trees. That's all of the...
Gross.
So I looked up the April Fool's pranks gone wrong.
Okay. What do you got?
And apparently this is like real stuff. And I'll just go through like the best ones. But so the Liberty Bell.
Okay.
Taco Bell back in 1996. They took out full page ads and said that they had purchased the Liberty Bell. Well, they obviously didn't. But people were in an uproar. They said... They said that even politicians like senators, they called the National Park Service to find out why this priceless Revolutionary War era antique had been sold to a place that sells gorditas. But apparently it was a big uproar. Let's see, the end is near. So the Franklin Institute Science Museum in Philadelphia, they apparently said that this was back in 1940. And it said the astronomers at Franklin Institute in Philadelphia, scientists predict that the world will end today at 3 p.m. This is no April Fool's joke. That's what they put. And I'm like, you can't do that. Because with all the people that are doing the end of time suicide Kool-Aid stuff,
Right.
that could have been bad.
When did they do that?
1940 something.
Oh, 6 people saw it.
Right.
They didn't have the internet.
That's true.
Like
it's all the people that work there.
Yeah. Hey, Earl. The world's ending at 3 p.m. See? Yeah. You know?
Oh, you know how War of the Worlds was a radio broadcast, right?
Yes.
And people started believing it, and they started freaking out and stuff.
Right.
That'd be crazy. I mean, it might just happen. Who knows? John and I were watching this show yesterday. We were kind of laughing at it, but it was talking about how aliens helped build the pyramids.
Right.
Because we didn't have that technology back then.
What do you think?
I think it's bull. Like, okay, so just because they didn't have, like, the technology, the algorithms, and that sort of thing, I mean, it doesn't mean they can't figure something out.
I hear what you're saying. But you know how close those things were? How accurate they were to being square?
Yeah, that's what they're saying. Maybe they're just pretty damn good. Oh, so we have an alien believer over here.
I'm not saying
you ever been abducted, Carlos?
Not yet.
But I hope to.
I hope to. All I'm saying is, and I might sound crazy saying this. This is all I'm saying.
Maybe.
There's parts of the universe that we still don't know about, right?
Oh, yeah.
Is it unreasonable to suggest that there might be other intelligent species out in the universe? On some far away planet. Maybe not human. No one said anything about being human, but they could be.
Oh, no.
Or
the big heads, big eyes.
Or maybe, little alien. Maybe those are
scrawny
us in the
bodies.
future. Who knows? I don't know. There's physics involved.
I don't know. So I used to say that it's pretty conceited of us to think that there's not something else out there in this big, vast galaxies and universes and all this other stuff. But, I don't know. We don't know.
And I'm not taking religion or any of that into consideration. I'm just saying, just from what we can see, all those stars that you look at with your telescope, those could be a sun in some faraway galaxy somewhere, right?
Yeah.
Why couldn't it support life?
It would just have to be perfect like the Earth. That's all.
It could be a different type of life. It could be
worms.
Instead of carbon based, it could be, I don't know,
sulfuric acid based,
which would be awesome.
And then they come here, and then they would die. Of course, if we went there, we would die.
Right.
Anyway.
But I'll say this: any alien race that's smart enough to get here, we probably don't want them coming.
Yeah, because they would bully us.
Yeah, it'd be a wrap.
They would beat us up.
They're not going to be
E.T. The flagpole.
They're not going to fly around on bicycles and baskets.
And like waddling to walk.
Yeah. No, they're going to come down with ray guns and blast everything and take our land.
Yeah. Well, we probably deserve it, but I'll just do one more of these pranks I looked up. This one's kind of funny, I think. But if you know science, then it wouldn't have gotten you. Hello. But it's called Don't Drink the Water. It certainly sounded ominous when Kansas City DJs Johnny Dare and Murphy Wells warned audiences in 2002 that their drinking water had been tested for high levels of dihydrogen monoxide. Well, turns out that dihydrogen monoxide is the chemical term for H2O. So technically, it wasn't a lie. Like, somebody said that to me before, and I was just like, you're funny. Lame.
Yeah, that's using science to try to be funny. Shut up.
Right. Yeah. Some of the people in my Facebook group actually posted some of their best pranks, and one of the girls, she put topical on somebody's cup, on their drinking cup.
Oh.
Oh, you know how that stuff feels after a while. You're like all numb and stuff. And it tastes disgusting.
When I was in the Navy, we had a dentist that, we didn't really care for.
Mm-hmm.
We would mess with him all the time, like change his insignias and put them upside down on his uniforms and stuff. And and one day we put shoe polish on the phone because we had those black FBI phones that had the buttons on them,
like a bat phone, but it's black.
Yeah, and like it's indestructible plastic. So we would rub shoe polish on the earpiece and be like, "Doc, I think you got a phone call." and he picked it up, and we let him. What was messed up, the other doctors kind of were in on it. And they let him walk around like that for like 30, 40 minutes. You know what I mean?
That's awesome.
With a black ear, and everybody's laughing. He's like, well, yes, there's nobody there. I'm like, nobody's there. And then one of the guys was holding the cord, so he let go of the cord, and he thought that was the joke. But the joke was that there was shoe polish on the thing. And I kind of feel bad about that a little bit, you know?
Why? That's funny.
Because he wasn't a jerk. He was just weird, you know? I guess it was kind of bullying, but he was a dentist, so he couldn't have been that weird. Or could he?
Oh, Lord. Let's not get into that one.
Know?
Did you see that episode of Full House when, was it DJ or Steph? Stop it.
Full
you
House.
You watch Full House all the time.
Get out of
all
here.
The time. I think Steph and DJ had like a kaleidoscope and it had not tar, but like oil or, grease or whatever on the... So little Michelle goes and looks in it, and she's got this black ring around her eye, and she's like, I don't get it.
Same thing.
Oh, man.
Ear, eye.
Yeah.
It's funny every time.
Yep.
Even with a television show that sucked.
Whatever.
The dad.
I learned about life.
The dad on that show.
Bob Saget.
Has one of the most raunchiest stand-ups comedy specials I've ever seen.
Yeah, I heard that.
I never saw him live, but I saw him on TV or HBO or something, and I was like, wow, that's the dad?
Right. That's the wholesome Bob Saget, Danny Tanner, whatever his name is. I heard he talks about the girls on there, too. Like, in his show, like, in a bad way. And I was just like, oh.
I think some of it is just so over the top that it's just not fun anymore. You know what I mean? It's just so just weird. Just I was like, all right, this is just kind of creepy at this point, you know? And
I haven't seen it though.
Yeah, you're not missing anything.
I just heard.
You're not missing anything.
All right. Yeah. Well, I'll check that off my bucket list.
You're totally good.
Done. Don't need that. Are you superstitious at all?
It depends.
I'm a little stitious.
So not so superstitious.
It's a Michael Scott, The Office kind of joke.
I get you. In what context? What are you talking about?
Well, okay, maybe not superstitious. Maybe it's just, do you believe in like ghosts and spirits and all that crazy stuff?
I don't know if it's crazy. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I'm in the same boat. I'm not 100% sure. So I was posting in the group and I said, who's messed with a Ouija board before? And it was kind of mixed results. So have you ever messed with one?
With a Ouija board?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like them.
Yeah. Why not?
Well, when I was in high school, me and this guy, my buddy Ralph, we were hanging out with a couple ladies. And, we were 16, 17, so there were girls in high school. But we're hanging out in the office, and we're playing around with this Ouija board, and a breeze came in and blew open and knocked over some stuff. And I was like, all right, I'm done. I'm never touching this again. You know? And I haven't,
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah.
So
and we weren't asking for like weird stuff, but it was just, and again, it's probably just coincidence. Maybe. I don't know. But why? I've seen enough scary movies.
Yeah, right, exactly. A bunch of people in the group said similar stuff. Like, one of them, the table flipped over. One of them, the lights went off. Granted, it was their friend that flipped the breaker on purpose. But, still.
I'm just saying, if there is something on the other side, I don't want to mess with it.
So one person said that a friend of hers, this is a friend of hers, not her, but she was all alone, and it kept going to a random long number.
I feel like I'm losing you. Hold on a second.
Oh, I think I lost you.
Are you there?
Are you there? Oh, you're frozen.
I hear you. Oh.
Carlos. Can you hear me now?
Can you hear me?
Uh-oh.
No?
Something's up.
All right. Hello?
Hello. I guess you're going to call me back.
Yeah, dude. I don't know what happened. I'm sorry. I'm not doing nothing else with this laptop because I think that may have sketched the whole thing out.
Yeah, I think it was your fault.
Most likely.
So, I remember I was talking about this girl who she was doing it alone, and she kept getting this big long number. She didn't think anything of it. She was just like, whatever. And then when she got in her car, She looked down, and the dashboard, the mileage was the exact same number. Freaky.
I thought she was just saying that number called her, and it was
that would have been
someone offering her 15% off her car insurance.
You never know.
That's
so somebody said last time was when I was around 6 with her uncle. She asked it if it liked her, and it spelled out bitch.
First off, 6-year-olds shouldn't be touching a Ouija board.
Yeah, you would think so. Anyway, her uncle, she didn't know what it meant, and her uncle threw the Ouija board up in the attic, and she was never allowed to play with it again.
That's creepy as hell.
I know, right? And then somebody else said that there was a 1930s Ouija board at a yard sale or flea market, and
that's got bodies on it. It's got
right. She's seen so many horror movies. She decided to pass on that one.
That is a damn
oh my gosh.
Jumanji death board. Don't touch it.
Oh my gosh. Somebody else said they had one growing up, and they would ask like silly questions or whatever. But they asked like what its name was, and it said Stanley, and then it lived in hell and worshipped Satan. So yeah, that's ridiculous. Oh, and then she said, I remember when it was done, it would just move off the board. Wow.
That's just creepy.
Oh, and then another one, it had she asked it if it was her grandfather. So she was like asking him really specific things, like what's your full name? It kept saying no. And then the board spelled out Buppa, Buppa, and she says Buppa was what I called my grandfather. And she said the person that was doing the Ouija board with her had no clue that that's who that was. Like, didn't know that her grandfather was Buppa. So,
and that's why you shouldn't mess with those.
Well, she said it was nice because it was like the angel that protects her from bad things. So, let's see.
Well, I did a show with a medium.
Yeah.
And she wanted a clean comic to open for her, right?
Yeah.
Her name is Cindy Keza.
Okay.
All right. And so I'm sitting there, and I ordered like a BLT or something, right? And I'm watching the show.
Yeah.
And she starts talking, and she's like, this next lady is somebody's mother-in-law. And I was like,
yeah.
And
because you have a mother-in-law?
Well, had. Right?
Oh.
Yeah. So I'm like, okay.
Hold on. Let me get my popcorn. Hold on.
Dude. So then she goes, yeah, this medical condition and then that, but it was mostly this. And I was just like, okay.
Yeah.
And then she said her name, and I just got chills run through me, dude.
Really?
And she goes, is that anybody? And she's looking in my direction, but I'm sitting in the dark, like far away from the stage.
Right,
by the DJ booth. And I go, that was my mother-in-law, Cindy. She's like, oh, and then she just said something about, she's watching and she thinks it's awesome you're doing stand-up or whatever. But I had chills, dude.
That's crazy.
I didn't really believe it until she said her name, and that's what freaked me out.
Yeah.
How does she know the name? We just met 10 minutes before then.
Did she Google you and your life history on Facebook and stalk you and stuff?
I don't know. Not in 10 minutes.
Maybe.
You know what I'm saying?
Ooh, maybe they have a bunch of people, like, in her ear, like, she's got an ear thing on, and they're all, like, googly searching everything about you, like, in just that quick. Maybe. I hope that's what it was. Because you don't want your mother-in-law keeping an eye on you?
No, dude, but just... And then there were people crying, and she was, calling out things, and she's like, if you get somebody, great. If not, that doesn't mean that they don't, they're not,
right,
watching or whatever. And I was just like, yo, son, it's
crazy.
And then she's like, so I asked her, I said, how do you turn it off? She's like, I just have to tell them to leave, now's not the time.
Right, yeah.
And I'm like, okay. All right.
Get off my back. Leave me alone. Trying to sleep.
But that was trippy.
Yeah, I like part of me wants to like go and visit a fortune teller, a medium, or something like that, because I mean, like, my whole life well, I mean, the last few years has been like, let's have a baby and blah blah blah, and it's like if I just knew at the end of this journey I was going to have one, I think I would feel so much more calm about it. You know what I mean? But I don't know. You know, it's one of them things. You don't know the future or anything.
That goes back to that question that we had a couple episodes ago. Like if you knew you where, you know, would you rather know when you're gonna die or how? Remember?
Yeah.
And
it was on a horse in the zombie apocalypse.
Yeah, or a kangaroo or whatever.
Right, but, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to know, man.
I don't know. I mean, like, I don't need details. Just, it's a yes or no question. And, well, okay, maybe some details would be cool, but...
Yeah.
But, I don't know. Do mediums actually tell the future, or do they more, like, connect you with people? Am I thinking of fortune tellers versus mediums? Or are they same, or...
I think mediums are conduits from the afterlife.
Oh.
You know?
Yeah.
And so I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
All I know is that all that freaks me out.
You're going to have to put some Twilight Zone music behind all this or something.
Yeah, I know. I can do that.
Some scary music.
I can overlay that over the thing.
Oh man, there's some people in the group that like every once in a while will tell ghost stories and stuff in the group. And man, there's some doozies in there. You're just like, whoa. And then you have to go to bed and you're like keeping the lights on as an adult.
Mm-hmm.
You remember last episode you were talking about sneezing fits and how often people sneeze, and you said to put it on my group to see.
Yeah.
Drum roll, please. They said, I said, how many times do you sneeze in a row? 1, 2, 3, 4. Mother effing sneezing fit every time. And the results are 1 sneeze has 15 votes. 2 sneezes has 26 votes, and that's our winner. 3 had 18 votes. 4 had 1 vote, and mother effing sneezing fit every time had 2 votes. And that's just within like an hour of having the poll, so...
Wow.
I figured, I really thought 2 would be the winner there, you know. I usually sneeze twice.
By a fair margin.
Yeah, but, you know, almost twice or whatever.
Interesting.
I don't know what the heck's wrong with this thing.
Yeah, so we're having some Ouija-influenced technical difficulties, so I think we should wrap this up.
You know what? Like your medium friend and the Ouija board got together and said...
Yeah, I said we end this podcast right now.
I'm starting to get a little bit of goosebumps going. You know? Not really, but...
No, but that chick, dude, she really freaked me out, man.
Yeah. We should have her on the show.
What's up?
Oh my god.
I don't know her like that.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Hey, there's a medium. There's a girl in my group, in Lighthearted RDH. They have she does over the phone medium stuff.
Dude, I'm telling you, man.
Should we do it?
If you want to.
Oh my god. Ermagerd. I'll see what we could do.
All right.
That would be right. I don't know.
If she wants to. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't
but
know.
If not, that's totally cool.
Me a little.
If she doesn't, if she kind of wants to, then no. She's not gonna. No.
Maybe the spirits will tell her to.
Oh my god.
You never know.
But anyway, this is what, Monday, April 1st.
April Fool's Day.
April Fool's Day.
Our last episode ever. Stop. You know? I'm gonna go play with a Ouija board. I'll be back.
Do you have one?
Yeah, actually, no.
I think we might have one in the attic. And those things.
Oh my god! Don't leave it up there. Yeah. Have you seen that Ouija meme that has like somebody did their wooden floor in a Ouija board?
That's horrifying.
And then they said it's all fun and games until the Roomba stirs up the devil or something.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, no one needs that.
Oh my gosh.
But all right, I'm gonna wrap this up.
Yeah, that's scary.
This is starting to get paranormal now.
Right, I want to be able to sleep tonight.
Seriously,
Carlos.
All right, well, guys, this has been OIF 24.
Yeah, 24.
Yeah, so give us a call, 256-743-5677.
256-74-FLOSS.
Yeah, text or call. You don't have to leave a message if you don't want to. Text or leave a message and be anonymous. I don't care. Just
I don't care.
Just
yeah.
Or email. at
Yeah. offyourflosser@gmail.com.
easy.
You can find us on Facebook and Instagram, and I'm gonna break out the Twitter one day.
You know.
I just need to do it. I'm lazy.
Yeah. You should, because I'm not gonna.
I don't know. Tweeting is. I don't know. Is it still a thing?
I can't get into it, man.
I'd rather see pictures and stuff, not talk. Like, what are you talking about? Who cares?
Yeah, but if you're listening to this, then you already are listening to it. So that's just stupid to tell you where to find us. But tell your friends.
Good point.
Because we're on what? Libsyn.
Yeah.
Google Play.
Tell all your friends.
iTunes,
Yeah.
Stitcher, Spotify, freaking Libsyn.
I think we said everything twice.
Latin.
And Google's Play.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
Stitcher and
all of them. But guys,
yeah.
Thank you so much for listening. And if you want to call or just email with suggestions and stuff you want us to talk about, we can do that. Don't forget to tune in to our big live event, and that is
next week.
April
9th. I think I made it for Tuesday.
Okay, yeah, good. All right, cool.
So you guys can just hang out. We'll post links and stuff so you can join us. You can, send in your comments. You can basically just kind of text and chat and stuff while we're doing it live, and we'll interact with you. So it's going to be fun.
Yeah.
I think a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
OIF Live.
Yeah. OIF Live 2019.
Go floss
yourselves.
And the
crowd goes wild. Yes, and always go floss yourselves.
Right. Good night. Sandy, I'll see you soon. Be good.
Aye.
Take care.